Welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the coronavirus because it's happening all over the country. And now it's affecting our schools. This is the very latest from Flower Bluff. They're going to have a school board meeting which it will depend on whether or not they're going to extend more school days or allow students to come back in on the next week. We do not know, but what we do know is that they're going to have a board meeting. But what I found before doing the show is that some guy must have photoshopped the letter. A letter from the must have photoshopped the letter, which is Flower Bluff. Just actually from CCISD. I don't know if that person who did it got photoshopped, they got permission from the superintendent, or if he got permission, then it was okay. But if he didn't, he has to delete the post. Now more restaurants are trying to close dining rooms in because of all this. And now, what is the biggest concern here to me is if schools continue to close through April, then they're probably going to make up a month of school. Like, have the kids come out of school till like June or July, then extend it 3 more months. That's like till October. We can't have that hungry. We can't have that happen. What we need to do is make sure that all kids get the best education they can get. So what I propose we should do is not extend more school days unless you guys come up with a plan. And Dr. Roland Rodriguez of the superintendent of CCNSD said they're trying everything they can to continue to deep clean the school and deep clean the school, or they're trying their best and okay, we're going to extend more school days. We're going to extend another week. It's like, and now what schools are doing is trying to do homeschooling. That's like, I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but they're trying to get the kids the best education. That's not the best education. I mean, free education for our tax dollars, and that's what all they can do until something happens, till further notice. Beeville's doing the same thing, and Beeville and Alice are doing the same shit. My biggest concern here is that if it continues, they're probably going to extend it to another 3 months. So what's going to be happening with all the students? Well, what you have to understand here is that we're trying to get our kids the best education they can get. But when you have people out there that are trying to deep clean the rooms, you need to come up with a plan so that it doesn't happen again. Even restaurants are opening just the drive-thrus and not the dining rooms because of all this. I mean, don't be hoarding up on old toilet paper because everyone else needs some toilet paper. Everyone else needs toilet paper. Food. Stop ordering all the food yourselves. Haven't you ever heard the phrase sharing is caring? If you didn't, then you must be a sucker. So what I gotta say to you is, don't ever do this again. Don't ever try to hoard on everything you can have. But still, it doesn't matter. What we're trying to do here is keep kids at school. If not, then I don't know what's going to happen. What I think really needs to happen here is that We need to come up with a plan. What plan do you think we should do? Have the students come out with masks so that they don't like ever contaminate other students. Y'all look at me like, that's not a bad idea, but it's part of the dress code. It doesn't matter. You really want to extend more school days? Then you allow people to wear gas masks. We're going to have more about the coronavirus when we come back. Alright, welcome back to the show. Now, going back to the school topic, if it continues, it's going to cost us about $50 billion or $50 million. That's how much it's going to cost. But if you look at the graph that Joshua from NYU did, if you close schools 2 weeks, that's $25 billion. And 0.1 of the GDP. 4 weeks, it'd be $51 billion. 6 weeks, 76.7, and 12 weeks would be $153 billion. Well, we have to. What I propose we should do is stop that from happening, because if we don't, then what's going to happen here is that, I mean, if you decide to close all schools in this program, then you won't have a lot of money. You're going to have to save up on everything, right? Make budget cuts. And now what all schools are doing is using curbside lunches. It's like, that's a great idea for students. But still, it doesn't matter. What we have to do is make sure all kids stay in school. The janitors doing everything they can in every school to deep clean it, but that's what they're trying to do, and kids are like, yay! It's unclear on what schools really need to last here, but it reduces the peak of the transmission rate, and it reduces the overall numbers. But the benefits of all school closures reduces transmission by preventing contact. It has to be like within 10 to 20 feet. But if we want to wear a mask, then you want to contaminate people as much. But what you ain't going to do is try to extend more school days. But there is some good news for all grocery stores. They're trying to stop people from hoarding all items that they get on the... they're trying to stop all people who buy a lot of stuff to limit it to 2 or 1. And we're going to talk about that when we return. Now, have you ever been in a grocery store thinking that you're going to get a lot of toilet paper, but they limit you to two packs of toilet paper, but you want to be like 10 to make sure you're all stocked up? That is what all grocery stores do. They're trying to stop you from ordering food and supplies. And people are listening, why do we have to do that? I want some toilet paper. You got to limit yourself to 2. And now what other people are doing is using newspapers and magazines and other stuff to use toilet paper, like corn on the cob and stuff. I'm not even going to go there with Sanford Pole, but all grocery stores, what they're trying to do is limit the use of the items. And what they're going to do is limit the hours of closing time. But what people really need to understand here is that you don't need all those things. Limit yourself to 2 packs of toilet paper. If you run out, then use your saved up stuff. HEB's closed until 8 o'clock, and Walmart's closed until 8. I don't know what time Walmart is opening, closes its doors, but what they're trying to do is make sure that none of it really happens. Meaning all the hoarding stops. And now Buck Day and all the city events are happening. Like Buck Day is postponed till November. The stock market is down, and the Port Aransas mayor discusses the coronavirus, saying like what's going to be happening, and schools are now doing like doing delivery lunches from the side, and the CCIS is doing like free lunches, but no one needs to make toilet paper a big deal, man. Limit yourself to a few items, and not me feels like making is like I don't know. I mean, I care about education. I care about what other people now. The YMCA is like deep cleaning, and I care about that. But if CCIC is going to come in the media and say we're going to extend it until April 16th, then I can sit up here and tell you not to let it happen. And if the Florida school district is going to do the same thing, I can sit up here in your face and tell you not to do it again. That's what I do. I tell you not to do it again. We have children here. I mean, what you guys are doing is trying to claim yourself for the prize. And the prize is not the cost of an education, but it's the children's education. What I care about is not extending more school days. We have children here that are trying to get the best education. All you do is extending spring break. Like 2 weeks spring break, 3 weeks spring break. Knock it the hell off already. We don't need this. If you guys continue to do this, you guys are raising the roof here of the money. $50 billion worth. If you guys don't stop this, then what is really going to happen here is that the kids, you're going to extend weeks, months, days, until finally someone with the balls decides to come up with a plan. And now parents are doing homeschooling to get their kids the best education. I support that, but Google Classroom not doing anything. Even colleges are closing. Alright. When we come back, I'm going to tell you what you can do to protect yourself from the coronavirus and what you can do to protect yourself. We'll be right back. Some of you might be asking, like, what is the best advice to protect ourselves from the coronavirus? Well, there are lots of advices from the World Health Organization .int. People are saying that you must wash your hands frequently. Why? Washing hands with soap and water or using alcohol kills the viruses that may be on your hands. Maintain at least 3 feet distance from yourself and anyone who's coughing or sneezing. When someone coughs or sneezes, spray a small liquid droplets on your nose or mouth. It may contain the virus. You're too close, you're breathing the droplets, the person has the disease. Avoid touching eyes, nose, and mouth, because the virus can enter your body and make you sick. Practice respiratory hygiene. Droplets spread virus by good respiratory hygiene to protect yourself around you and the virus such as the flu. If you have a fever, cough, difficulty breathing, seek medical care immediately, and you must always stay home. Stay informed of all advice given by your healthcare provider. Protection measures for persons who were recently visited 14 days where it's spreading. Also, if you're sick, you stay home from work. what I think really needs to happen here is that you need to take these tips, like wear a gas mask or something. Even if you're working at a restaurant, you must always wash your hands like every 30 minutes and add hand sanitizer to it. If you feel sick, stay at home. Do not go to work. Contact your medical provider. If children are sick, keep them at home. Do not send them to school. Contact your medical provider. Some of your household since positive coronavirus. Your house at home. Don't go to work. Don't go to school. Yada yada yada. If you're an older person, stay home, away from other people. Yada yada yada. If you're a person with a serious underlying health concern, that can put you in a risk. For example, stay home, away from other people. Avoid travel. Don't visit nursing homes. Avoid gatherings more than 10 people. If you're an older person, stay home and away from other people. We talked about that. That's all you gotta do to protect yourself from the coronavirus. We'll be right back. Here's a science question for you guys. Can wearing a face mask protect you from the new coronavirus? It's a question many people are asking. If it's a regular face mask, the answer is no. A more specialized mask known as the N95 respirator can protect against the new coronavirus, also called SARS-CoV-2. The respirator is thicker than surgical mask, but neither essential for disease control. The thinner mask is intended for surgeons, but these products do a good job keeping the doctor's nose and mouth from entering the surgical field. So I would say not to wear the mask, but if you decide to get the mask, protect yourself and use caution. That way you can get better. You can get better results. So now we're focusing on the school closures, we're focusing on YMCA, we focused on the we're focusing on everything about the coronavirus. But there's one thing we haven't, what we're trying to do here is make sure that area schools are canceling 23rd, but the school board's going to do a meeting about that. Plus, doing drive-through things and then all the events are closed and what other people are doing is trying the best they can. So the bottom line here is this: don't limit yourself to 2 items per person, so that you can make sure that you have the best care you can get, and make sure that make sure you can protect the one you love. And I'm really disappointed CCISD extend until April. And be on it ISD. If I can just bully them and tell them what can happen, I can just stand up here in their faces and tell them not to do it again. So we have kids out there that want to get the best education they can get, and all you're doing is extending school days to make sure they're deep cleaning every single month. We can't have that. We already have the second week of spring break, but we don't need to extend a lot of days. Try to think something positive. Try to think Try to think some happy things. Don't be thinking about negative things. Right? And now BVI sees someone to raise funds for education. Alright. Coming up tomorrow on Friday's Gaming Break, we're going to do an update show called New Look, New Updates. It's called New Look, New Updates from our new studio. What we're going to do is do what's called New Look, New Updates. We're going to tell you about what's been happening ever since these topics. Especially the coronavirus ones. I think you'll be really surprised by what happens. That's all for this edition of Gaming Break. Don't forget, on Thursday there's going to be a school meeting depending on depending on whether they're going to extend more school days or decide to close off schools till April. I hope you'll see me there, and I hope you'll join me again on Friday for Gaming Break. Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.